Hi there, Jeff here from Sorted Surf Shop, talking you through the new Rebel surfboards range. We just had a container of these beauties land in the last week, and we've got our surfboard for everyone basically. And so I'm just going to walk you through the range. We got these boards in because they're sort of something original in the UK. They're really well made, and they do great shapes, and they're really well priced. So we'll walk you through the range, and we hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first board in the range to introduce you to, the AP1000, is basically a performance shortboard. But kind of tweaked for UK conditions. So you've got still got a decent amount of volume through the board. You'll be able to check that out on the dimensions. You also got a bit more of a relaxed rocker through the board, so it's going to plane a bit better, get over those flat sections a bit better. But it is a blade. It is built for good days, and it comes with the sort of carbon patches at the back there to strengthen. And you've also got the nice little 5-fin system here as well, which is FCS2. But essentially it is a classic shortboard. You've got a single to double concave, a nice performance rail at the back, but really good for UK waves.
Up next, we've got the Rebel Badger. This is a good performance shortboard with a bit more volume in it, basically. So for the slightly weaker days and our weaker UK waves, this will be a good go-to board. A bit more volume than the AP1000, a little bit more relaxed in the rocker again, but still a bit of nose lift so that you're not going to pearl it. And you've got a reinforced carbon patch on the tail so you can be aggressive with getting that back foot down and turning it. It is really pulled in, so it is going to turn on a dime. Okay, it comes with FCS2 fin boxes, 5 of them. So you've got options there. You can ride it as a thruster or as a quad, and that's your Badger.
Up next we have the Rebel Easy Rider. Now the Easy Rider is a bit more of a big boy shortboard basically. It's a bit of an old school shortboard, so lots of volume, volume running through the board, but still a performance shortboard. Still going to sort of turn really nicely, but while still getting you over flat sections. You can see it's got a really relaxed rocker running through it. The board itself has got a bit of a higher midpoint, which means basically a lot of the float or a lot of the volume is further under your chest. But you've got a nice sort of like thinned out nearer or drawn in tail as well, so it'll pivot nicely, give it a bit more feel and a bit more drive off the tail. Really good for either for good days or just for sort of like smaller, more lackluster days and sort of summer waves, that kind of thing. Hence the name Easy Rider. But once again, you've got the 5-fin setup, and you've got that in the FCS2 as well.
Up next, we've got the Rebel MidLength board. To get you into waves super early, it'll also handle the bigger stuff. So if you want to get into waves early in some slightly bigger stuff, this will be a good board for that because it's got a nice sharp rail just before the fin box there. Want to have fun? You can set it up as a 2+1. So this board is going to suit the person who just wants to get into the waves nice and early and cruise around, but also with the rounded pintail being really refined, that is going to give you lots of hold and grab in a steeper wall as well. So you can go into slightly more aggressive waves if you wanted to on this one. So it's essentially a good all-rounder.
Next up, we've got the Retro Fish by Rebel, and this is a beautiful board. This is a kind of a different way of surfing essentially. What you're looking at here is the sort of old school fish shapes. You've got all the volume at the front of the board basically, and it's going to allow you to bring your back foot forward, do the whole sort of sole arch, really trim down the line. Because it's a twin fin and there's a big gap between the fins and loads of planing area, it's going to fly. It's going to go really fast, this board. But you can see with the sort of like kink in the tail there, you put your foot on the back over the fins and it will stop and it will pivot and it'll actually perform quite nicely in even sort of steeper waves. So it's a kind of different way of surfing. So if you're really into your sort of like more kind of Mickey February style of surfing, where you're sort of really drawing out your turns and sort of trying some different stuff basically, then you love this board. It's one we've all tried here at Sorted and we have enjoyed immensely.
Okay, so up next we've got the Rebel Mini Log. So this is essentially a longboard, just been shortened a little bit. So we've got a nice full nose. So if you did want to think about getting up onto the nose, maybe doing a cheap 5 or a hang 5, or maybe you can go for the 10 if you can get right in the pocket, you can do that. We've got a nice rounded thumbtail, so it's going to be nice and smooth with its turns as well. It's quite a sharp rail, so it will go in some steeper stuff. But obviously, being a mini log, it's going to be great in your usual weak UK waves as well. It has got the traditional 2+1, so you can ride it as a 2+1, or you can take the side bites out and go traditional single fin if you want for that nice loose longboard feel. And that is your mini lock.
Okay, so last in the range, but not least, is the MiniMouth. It's a really good all-around small wave board, or ideal for people that are learning to surf basically, or improving, progressing I should say. So if you started out on a foamy, then this is a great board to move on to for your first PU board. The reason being, it's just got the classic MiniMouth template, so nice and full, loads of volume under your chest to catch waves, give you stability to pop up. And also have that rounded tail, so when you do start to progress and you can sort of drive off the bottom a bit and then start to turn, get the feel of the board and going down the line. Or if you just want to use it for small summer waves, it's great as well. You know, it'll perform good. We've got sort of smaller sizes in this board as well, which should be more manoeuvrable, but still just ultimately a wave catching machine. So ideal for people that are moving down off of their first board. I wouldn't say you want to get it as your first board, because being PU is a little bit more fragile, so you need to have a little bit of control over your board. But yeah, when you're sort of progressing, this is going to be a great board to go for. And you've got it in a classic thruster setup, so you're going to have sort of hold and drive and everything you need off of the fin system, which is FCS2. Essentially, that's everything going on with the Rebel range. We hope you like the boards. We really do. As we said before, we definitely think there is something for everyone, and we've specifically got a range of boards which are going to suit the conditions that we get, but pretty much in the UK, sort of UK wide, it'll be a board that will go well in all conditions. So welcome to the Rebel Surfboard range.